The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Second-seeded Carson-Newman takes on seventh-seeded Lenoir-Rhyne on Wednesday night in the South Atlantic Conference quarterfinals with Mike Mincey, Michael Watching for the Eagles Sports Network. And, Coach, to win 3 games and to hold up a trophy, your team needs to do what?
Win games, right? I think we're doing what we need to be doing this time of year. I don't think last year that the mindset was right. Coming into the tournament, I thought it was, but now looking back on it and looking at some things that took place, maybe it wasn't. I do feel like this year that we're just headed in a better direction going into the SAC tournament. Obviously, getting the host again is real critical, and we just need to be able to put forth a better performance than we did last year, so we can try to get back to Furman and see what we can do when we get there. You
get this Lenoir-Rhyne team that you've been able to handle for the most part this season, but that was somewhat the case last year when LMU came to town, that you had you controlled the first 2 games of that. It is the postseason, different brand of basketball. Anything can happen. What's the key to success against the Bears on Wednesday night?
Just to continue doing what we do. I mean, we'll put our game plan in tomorrow, and you never know. Anytime you're facing somebody for the third time or in tournament play, you never know what they're going to throw at you. So you try to be prepared for all kinds of different scenarios. But in general, it doesn't really matter what it's thrown at you. It's still a 40-minute game. You got to shoot a high percentage. You need to put the ball in the bucket. You need to control the boards and limit your turnovers. And if you do that and play with good effort, you're going to have a chance of winning. So when we come out on Wednesday night, those are going to be the things that we're looking to do, is continue to have good chemistry with each other, share the ball, and play harder than our opponent.
When you look at how this situation plays out from last week, where you had the Catawba news, Tusculum loses, North Georgia loses, Lander loses, it feels like this region is wide open, and the region rankings are going to be very interesting on Wednesday. What do you do as a coach to try to capitalize on some of those things that have happened and improve your slot in the regional standings?
Well, I don't know where we're going to go in terms of the regional standings, and I don't know how it's going to play out to who's won and on down to 8. It's going to be a weird call tomorrow, I'm sure, with a lot of movement that can take place. But I don't know. We just need to make sure that as we move into the SAC tournament, that we don't really worry about where it's going to be and where we're going to be ranked or whatever. You just got to take care of the opponent that's in front of you. You do look across the landscape of our region and teams that have won or maybe some weird losses, whatever, and you know that just like when we went to Wise the other night and we didn't play well in the third quarter, normally I would have probably gotten upset about that, but I'm like, look, we won a game by 13 points on the road. Let's be happy about it. Against Newberry, it wasn't the greatest performance, but we won a game at home by 31. Let's be happy about it. Let's move on to the next opponent, which is going to be Lenoir-Rhyne. And so it's wide open. Obviously, anybody that hosts is going to have the advantage. We do look back on and say, man, if we had only have done this, then we could be in that conversation with North Georgia, Belmont Abbey, Lander in terms of hosting, and we're not. So we pretty much know we're going on the road. But the SAC has always been our most important thing. Is we did not get an opportunity last year to defend the crown that we had gotten the year before. So getting back to Furman is our utmost important goal that we want to try to accomplish moving forward right now.
When you look at your team, one guaranteed game left on the schedule. You feel like that there will be an NCAA tournament game in there, but you get to play at home, the senior class. Where do you see your team's sense of urgency and desire to stretch this from one guaranteed game and try to make it 6, 7, even more than that?
Well, our motivation is simply because of how we finished last year. We gave up an overtime loss here by 3. We go into the first round of the tournament and give up a 3-point loss again. And we just weren't playing our best basketball. And so I feel different this year that the motivation, everybody's motivation, everybody that's going to take the floor Wednesday night wants to go to Furman to play in the Final Four. But we know what we did last year is we underachieved in our last 2 games of the year, and we don't want to do that again. So the mindset is like we can't allow that to happen again. And you can't guarantee anything, but you can guarantee how you prepare, how you play together, and certainly how hard you play, and that's certainly what we're looking to try to do Wednesday night.
Coach, appreciate the time. Best of luck Wednesday.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Carson-Newman coach Mike Mincey. I'm Michael Watching for the Eagles Sports Network.